Hello and welcome to the week ahead video with me, David Madden. Now before we take a look at the major events of next week, let's take a moment to quickly recap the big events of the week just gone. Yesterday, the European Central Bank hiked interest rates by 0.75%, meeting expectations. The European Central Bank also indicated that further rate hikes are in the pipeline. Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, also issued a speech yesterday, and Mr. Powell made it quite clear the Federal Reserve are determined to keep hiking interest rates until inflation is brought down. We saw a lot of volatility in the euro yesterday, and we also saw a lot of volatility in the US dollar. This morning we've seen a broad sell-off in the US dollar as traders are in risk-on mode, and the weakness seen in the US dollar has driven up GBPUSD. In fact, the currency pair is at its highest level since late August. Why is this important? Well, GBPUSD is likely to be in focus next week as the Bank of England will announce its interest rate decision on Thursday, and on Wednesday the UK CPI rate will be announced. Looking at the Bank of England meeting on Thursday, the Bank of England have hiked interest rates 6 times since December last year. The most recent rate hike was a larger hike, a hike of 0.5%. There's growing speculation that the Bank of England might like to do another large rate hike next week as a way of keeping inflation under control. Inflation in the UK is currently at 10.1%, its highest level in 40 years. So the inflation figures, the CPI numbers, and also the Bank of England update could inject volatility into the currency pair. Looking at the recent price action of GBPUSD, we can see it's moving higher in the near term. The MACD indicator shows that momentum is firmly in positive territory, implying the bulls are in control. If GBPUSD continues to hold above these two simple moving averages, it's likely the near-term upward trend will continue. A rally from here could see a target at 1.1692. And a break beyond that could see a target at 1.1759. It is worth noting though that the much longer term trend for the currency pair is lower. If GBPUSD fails to break above this zone here at 1.1692, that could be another indication that the longer term bearish trend is still in effect. A move lower from here could see it retest this zone here at 1.1539, and a break below that could see it back down towards 1.1459. Also of next week, we have US CPI will be posted on Tuesday, and on Thursday US retail sales will be announced. Now US CPI has been very much in focus. It's recently cooled to 8.5%, which was a decline from the previous reading, but is still well above the Fed's 2% target. And the high levels of CPI in the United States, high levels of inflation, is why the Federal Reserve have been so keen to hike interest rates. So the US CPI numbers on Tuesday and the US retail sales on Thursday could inject volatility into both the US dollar, the bond yields, and also the Nasdaq 100. The Nasdaq 100 has been very sensitive to perceptions about what the Fed are going to do in terms of hiking interest rates. Whenever there's been bouts of fear that the Federal Reserve are going to become very hawkish and bond yields rise, that typically puts pressure on the UT100. And whenever we see a retreat in bond yields, we have seen a pullback, we have seen a bit of rally in the UT100. Looking at the price action of the UT100 in the past few days, we can see it's moving higher. This is because the US 10-year yield is off its recent peak, and if we do see a continuation of the short-term upward move in the UT100, we could look to retest this zone here at 12,502, and a break beyond that could see a target 12,647. If you take a look at the RSI, we can see it's moving higher. If it continues to move higher from here, it might move into overbought territory. Should that be the case, that could be an early warning sign that the recent upward move in price has become overstretched. If we do see a move to the downside in the UT100 from here, support might be found at 12,226, and a break below that could see a target 12,110. Just to recap, on Thursday we have the Bank of England interest rate decision. On Wednesday we have UK CPI. On Tuesday we have US CPI, and on Thursday we also have US retail sales. Thank you very much.